All right, cyber traders, welcome on back to close out this week, this Friday afternoon, January 21st, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Great to see John, great to see Chuck, Ari, Bill, a few of us rejoining us right now live inside our live trading room cyber group. That is great to see everyone there. Great to see all of us back on social media, Facebook Live or YouTube. Let's hop right into it, folks. We got a lot to talk about here today, not just the crypto at the end. Of course, I'll be talking about the drop off on Bitcoin over the last 48 hours. I'll give you more thoughts on it perhaps over the weekend, and I'll tell you more about that in a bit. Great to see Sam and Leda live inside Cyber Group as well. Perfect. All right, so for right now, folks, just to begin, the VVOS on the screen for right now, it was moving up a little bit earlier. It was popping up nicely more from the morning, and it actually broke above the high that we had back from Wednesday. So things were looking good on this trade, and they were beginning to look good once again heading into the afternoon. But I feel like this is going to be the case, not even for a stock that, was on the gainers list like VVOS, but just in general with the way the market's dropping off. Even if there's a stock near the highs, I feel like it's not going to show as much momentum to the upside going into the afternoon. So, hey, this VVOS is still very tradable, but I'm not particular about it right now. Looking a little bearish, lower highs for right now. All right. John says, super awesome call out, not regarding VVOS, but for all of us live inside Cyber Group, at least, we were following Peloton going into pretty much the whole day, right? I mean, we were following Peloton from yesterday afternoon. We were killing it on the short then. I am in this trade right now, John. So to go over this stock pretty quickly, we were watching this, of course, right from the market open, made this big pop, then big drop off, presumably with the market at that time. And then with the market, pretty much at the same exact time going into 10:30, did we see it begin to make a nice bounce? Ended up bouncing up pretty nicely from above 24, and then from there took off pretty nicely. I didn't catch the long on the way up, but I was asking myself, much like a lot of us were asking themselves here inside Cyber Group, for as much as this stock is pumping back up and recovering from the big drop off that we had yesterday, when will this begin to go the other way? And hey, if you're a student that I do coaching with, even from today, a few of us that I was in on these one-on-one sessions with, the question is not actually when, the question is really where. Where will this bounce from? And that where, well, it wasn't perfect. At first it was. At first it was, John, and Indica Insider Live Trading Room, the 2834 level, that was a big print level that we had back yesterday. I think that was the first halt or the first opening halt print that we had. And actually, I'll tell you what, we'll do a little extra here today for this afternoon meeting. I'll quickly go back on my level 4 screen here, book map. 2834 had a 268,000 share print when it reopened up off its first halt yesterday when that news came out. So, that was one of the few levels I was writing inside the chat board even yesterday. I ended up moving up there right away, and I ended up shorting it at first on a smaller position. Long story short, no pun intended there, John, but it's to say I ended up wasting the profit. It pushed back up. I did not get chopped around as much around here. I was trying to play it, and I was taking these break evens, +2, -4, and I was trying to find the sweet spot. I found the sweet spot. So right now I'm short currently from 28.49. I think I am in at 48, 42. I'm going to scroll up here just to see. I forgot the exact price. 46 I'm in from. I closed out half my position to begin with, so now I'm back on 500 shares. But for right now, I'm going to let this baby ride. So Peloton at least has a short following the market heading into the afternoon. This looks absolutely flawless. This looks incredible. There is one other stock that I'm currently in on right now. For all of us live inside Cyber, maybe play a quick guessing game. What stock alongside Peloton am I currently in? If you're to take a guess. The second one I'm in is dropping off still like the Peloton, but not as steady. How about this? I'll cut everyone off early. Norman was the first to punch, and he had it right. AMC. I am currently short also on AMC. This one was pretty on the fly, though, and we were following AMC as much as we were Peloton today. Dropped off with the market throughout the morning. This had a really nice bounce, similar to Peloton, right around 10:30. And then going into the early afternoon, this was beginning to make a nice sharp squeeze up. But I was more interested in Peloton heading into this afternoon meeting, and then I turned back to AMC. And AMC, I'm going to actually copy and paste a chart that I have on my main trading platform that I show in coaching sessions. It's to say that I had a line, and I set these lines up as early as 8:30 Eastern time this morning. But talk about flawless resistance once again. AMC off 1858. I just held it like a rock. I turned right back to AMC as it was practically right there, and I went for the short right in between 1850 and 1858. So once it pulled back, I just set a quick stop to hope to see if this can make the similar drop off as Peloton is. And so far, so good. It actually just held underneath 18 a moment ago here, beginning to pull back. I think this is on a fully for right now, 1,000. AMC will put this on our watch list for the afternoon. Both are shortable still for my platform. If they're not shortable on your platform, check to see if you can get the shares. Hard to borrow does not always mean impossible to borrow. So you could use, a program within your platform, or maybe just do it the old-fashioned way. Call your broker, check to see if you can get the shares if it is listed hard to borrow. But nonetheless, the AMC and the Peloton easily will put both of them on the afternoon list here to begin. All right, so folks, let's go right from top to bottom. Otherwise, with the market dropping off, we're not going to find as much on the gainer side here, right? I got to do that. All right, so BSFC, my trader's dyslexia kicking in. No surprise, this is continuing to dump off right now. We were watching this right out the gate from the market open. It was making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Bam, lower low. Ended up breaking right under 6, and then it ended up shaking down pretty nastily from there. I'll tell you what, this was a day filled with, I guess, fortunate timing. Leda inside Cyber Group, I don't believe in luck, good luck, bad luck, right? Either way, this was fortunate timing. I was in a coaching session with one of our students, Rod, at 10:30, and we were looking at SoFi actually at the time, and I'm flipping through my bookmap page, and I actually landed on BSFC right as it was at $4. It was dropping off still at this point, but it was right at 4, which is a major whole number level. So it's to say, hey, I mean, I had a line at 4, and it's to say if it could break through this level going back up, that's the exact opportunity that we talk about and that we look for. So this just was incredible timing. It doesn't work out as clean as it did here all the time, but once it broke under and over from 4, just squeezed up really nicely. I mean, we got out around 450-ish, left a little change on the table there, but didn't go up much further from that point. I guess you could say right now, trying to make the same move here right now at 4, but the first time is the best time. The second time, not so much. So, I only expect this to continue to pull back later on today, probably just weaken out over time, this BSFC trade. There we go, Leda. She's cracking up inside the trading room. She says, quote from Josh, luck is for losers. I heard that a long while back. I forgot how, to be honest, probably through a sports show or something, but that always stuck with me, Leda. It's not about luck. It could be about timing, good fortune, good timing, all of that. But the reason I entered is because it was right at my level. I knew that 4 was a big level. So it's not as much luck as it is just good timing plus skill. That's it, skill. All right, so we keep it going. Otherwise, folks, PT, this was looking good just a moment ago. It started to stall out a bit prior to us beginning this meeting here, but it's hard for us to not put this on our list for right now. PT, it's a cheap stock, more of a level 1 trade, if anything. It's almost too much like a level 1 stock. It's like watching the grass grow. But for right now, with where this is in relation to its highs, this should easily be on our watch list here. All right, so I'm in no more trades aside from Peloton and AMC, by the way. Dave ended up making. Actually, this is a wacky daily chart. Look at this daily chart here. This is the thing that just caught my eye. What the heck happened here over the last month or so? Really, from the beginning of this year, dropped off from 10 to sub 5, then pushed all the way back up today, close to 10. That's pretty interesting. Right now, though, just thin order book. It's moving a little flat right now over the last hour and a half. All right, so VVOS, I kind of started off with this one, right? And actually, over the last couple of minutes, it's trying to eke back up there. I wouldn't mind putting this on our main list here for the close, but I want to see if there's anything looking a lot better, though, in between. Right now, AMC is still dangling under 18. The LLNW trade here, it's kind of near the highs, but just super flat, super slow for right now. So, going to pass on this one for the meantime here. If it breaks higher as we go, then I'll reconsider. All right. BON, pump and dump type of stock here. Popped up early in the morning, got halted a couple of times. That second halt, I think, was a down halt. From there, game over. With the market dropping off, one of the few symbols, not even stocks, but symbols in particular, going up inversely to the markets here is UVXY VIX ETF. Ended up making a nice pop and then drop, then pushing back up here as the markets were falling off. Now perhaps pulling back over the last 3 to 5 minutes. But hey, if you do well on ETFs, then you know who you are. If you're someone that's trying to play around, try and catch a quick trade, you can't use level 3 on an ETF, folks. It is extremely, extremely difficult to, at least. So please, unless if you're very experienced already, I would not suggest for anyone to really be trading ETFs using level 3. All right, so keep it going here. Otherwise, again, I'm not expecting for there to be a whole laundry list of stocks on the gainers side for right now. KPTI is a familiar name, at least up over 8%. I'll tell you what, this one, it's slowly moving on up. And the issue with this one that I'm not too particular about now, it's only trading about 3,000 shares a minute. And that's like not a whole lot right now. It has some somewhat moderately big orders out there. So in terms of just opportunity cost, and let's see if there's anything trading a little bit more volume. We got pets here and then BDSI. Then we'll jump over to the losers list. Yeah. All right. All right, so Netflix is still down over 20%, very expensive stock. So if you're, buying puts on it, that's one thing, but otherwise I'm just going to focus on something more within our price range. CORZ. It is easy to borrow on my platform, at least, trading 1.7 million shares. It's near the lows of the day. It's at all-time lows. All of that I'm pretty interested in. It's only trading about 2,000 shares a minute right now. It's like not a whole lot right now, folks. So, it looked good. It smelled good. It's just trading a little light on the volume. Root here is trading a lot more volume per minute, about 18,000 shares per minute. But on the contrary, look at the order book. It's almost too liquid, too filled in. There's too much volume for it to break through in order for it to continue moving. But now we get to some familiar names here. SunPower, SPWR. It's not to say this is always on our side list, but it's always tradable. The stock almost always is like tradable, good spread, good liquidity, shortable. It's dropping off from 16, 15-ish, pulling back pretty nicely right now. I don't mind adding this one for right now, the SPWR trade as a short. Uh-oh, MicroStrategy down big. And if you're unfamiliar with this is how do I even say? The CEO of this company is a huge Bitcoiner, has been adding Bitcoin to his portfolio for like the last 2 years. One of the biggest, and earliest to this bull market run within Bitcoin. But when MSTR is down 13.5%, it's not a good Bitcoin day. So with that, you have Hut dropping off too, another Bitcoin stock, not as big as like a Riot or Mara. Let's get to those right now. We'll look at some of the other stocks otherwise that we may have missed. Then we'll do crypto at the very end. Riot down 11 plus, kind of near the lows right now. So I wouldn't mind adding that to our list even as a possible short. VVOS, just to go back to this one we kind of had on the side list for right now. And, hey, it hasn't dumped off since we started this meeting. So, you know what, that's a little bit, that's a little good sign there. So hopefully this keeps pushing. We'll put this on our main list. All right, so folks, let me know if there's anything up, down, left, right, more than 5% that you would want me to look at or check out here pretty quickly. Take a quick water break, then we'll jump to Bitcoin for a brief moment. All right, quick question. I know that there's actually less of us here on a Friday normally inside Cyber Group, but quick question: is there anyone here? And I know there are people, but who here is interested in crypto in general, Bitcoin or any of the other coins out there? Just quick head count. Quick head count. Even if it's just Bitcoin, just overall. Bunch of us. Good. All right. So I will talk about Bitcoin here coming up because obviously it's been getting crushed. But I want to do a more like formal video on it. I'm going to post it on our YouTube channel. So I'm going to look to try and do this by Sunday the latest. I hope to get it up by tomorrow, Saturday, over the weekend. If not Saturday, then just keep following our YouTube channel. It'll be up by Sunday. I'm going to post it on our YouTube channel. So for all of us live inside Cyber Group, that is simply youtube.com/cybertradingu. I post that right there in the chat board. For all of us on YouTube, well, you know where to go. So for right now, though, at least, let me just pop up Bitcoin because I want to just share this. I've been following the 500 EMA here on the daily chart, and I was saying, well, it's not going to shock me to see this begin to pull back down to the 500, dip a bit under it. I think this is a little bit more than a little bit under it. And that's my concern. I was thinking that we would see this begin to kind of chop around here for a little bit, slow breaks, small little breaks under the 500, and then for it to eventually, move back up. That was at least, a thought that I had in mind. And that's why when this was beginning to pull back over the last week, I wasn't kicking my feet up, sipping a margarita, but I wasn't sweating bullets. I'm still not sweating bullets, but I thought this would have made a shorter drop off than what we're getting here. So, that's where we have to think in terms of a more macro look as far as what happens if this really was the top. What happens if this does begin to retrace like the last two peaks back over the last 8 years? Back from 2013, 2014, and then going into 2017, 2018. Well, from peak to bottom, how far did it retrace? Now, that's something I'm going to talk more about on this video I'll be putting up on our YouTube channel over the weekend. So, for as bullish as I am, to which I still am, we have to observe and analyze all scenarios, folks. So now at this point, I'm going to look to do that. And over this weekend, I'll post a video coming up as far as where I could anticipate Bitcoin to possibly drop down to if things continue to get worse. If things hold here, where could we potentially expect Bitcoin to bounce, or rather, when? So I'll show a couple of different indicators. I'll also show a new website that I ended up finding that incorporates the volume aspect of it, almost like a book map type of thing here for crypto. So I look forward to that. I'll show that over this weekend. All right, folks. So again, for that, just go right on our YouTube channel. And again, if it's not up by tomorrow afternoon, it will be up by Sunday afternoon, if anything. All right. All right, so folks, that's all you got from me, at least for today. If there's any last stocks that are making a bit of a move up or down, type it in the chat board now, or forever hold your peace. I'm kidding when I say that, of course, but no, seriously, if there's any other stocks, definitely let me know. The VVOS is showing its strength here, so I'm happy we put this on our main list. IMTE end of day thing again. Uh-oh, back to back, Chuck. You had that call out yesterday, and it was doing all right at first, but then the volume, again, it was like kind of thin, so it's like a grinder of a trade into the close. But you know what? It's the way it looks, right? It's hard for us to not put this on our watch list. The liquidity is pretty thin, so that's something I would be pretty careful of. It's not even up a whole lot percentage wise, but it is to say, just looking at this daily chart, breaking day over day highs for right now, not at all-time highs, at least back from 2017 or so here. Multi-year highs, looks like back from 2020, topped off at 1331. You know what, Chuck? It's interesting. I'm actually going to yank my own leash right now. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to hold off on putting this on our list. The liquidity is just a little thin. I like the fact that this is trending up. It's breaking above the highs over the past week or two. A really nice run, but I'll keep this on the side list. For someone like Chuck, who I'm sure has done well on this stock, over the last week, then put it on your personal list. We have LLNW from Scott. It's trying. It's like eking back on up, and this one's a much safer stock in relation to try and follow. It's up 13%. It's trying to make that push. I'm going to keep this on the side for right now, Scott, not because it's too volatile. I think it's too slow. So if it does pop above 425, that could be a pretty interesting setup. And that's something perhaps you can keep in mind, maybe around like 3:15 Eastern time once things begin to pick back up again. The YMI trade, WIMI from Kirk. It's up 3.5%. Great order book. I love the order book there. It's not up a whole lot, but it's breaking above or trying to break above the high that we had back from yesterday. And I think the stock also, if I'm not mistaken, to which I could be, I thought this stock had some activity in the pre-market. Yeah, it did. Yeah, this had a ton of activity in the pre-market just yesterday. It didn't make for any like respectably good trade whatsoever, but maybe that was the calm before this storm here. I mean, we could only hope. So, actually, given that, I'm more keen towards the YMI stock for right now. GMDA from Norman. Well, this push right now, at least as I've been flapping my gums so far, yeah, the way this looks, definitely going to put this on our watch list for right now, up over 11.5% or just about, and making a stronger push than that why my trade even. Nice. All right, couple stocks to add to our list right now as well. There, from RJF asking about the SoFi trade. It's just choppy. It's a chop fest. It's very tradable, so if you're already in it looking for some sort of move, I wish the best on it. I traded this earlier as a short from 1438, very important level that we were kind of harping on this week. I wish I could say I shorted it all the way down to 1371. I did not. I got out above 14, but I did long at RJF from 1371. That was a pretty important level back from, I think, Wednesday's trading. But for right now, though, it's trading over 115 million shares. It traded double that yesterday, but the more volume this stock trades in this tight range, I'm just not expecting as as clean or clear of a move in any direction, up or down. But if the markets continue to drop off, then I would assume that there's a good chance that this will go with it. All right. All right, so folks, I think that just about wraps it up for me here. All in all, we got about 3, 6, 7 stocks to work with in total. Not too big, not too little, right? So if there is anything else otherwise that does make a bit of a move over the next 70 or so minutes, we'll look to call it out here live inside the trading room. For all of us on social media, Facebook Live, YouTube, I appreciate you sticking with me each and every day, each and every afternoon. If you have any questions that you would like to send over my way, feel more than free to do so. I always like to post my email address here on the stream, josh@c2trading.com. If you wanted to join us live inside our live trading room, feel more than free to go right down to the link on the banner below there in green to get yourself started just on a week-long trial. And also, just last reminder on the Bitcoin crypto video I'll be looking to put out over the weekend. Just go right to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/cybertradingu. I don't have a time set, so just keep looking across Saturday or Sunday afternoon, and by Sunday it will be up, I imagine. All right, folks. I'm going to jump on to a coaching call coming up at 3. I'll be back on right at 3:30 to wrap things for us here going into the end of this week. Talk to you soon.